Alrighty, so everyone's smiling? Anyone frowning here? No? Good. Yesterday, we talked about the whole pacing and leading construction. You get them to have to acknowledge or agree to something. Yes, yes, this is true, this is true, this is true. Then you can add a suggestion, which they'll kind of follow up upon, right? Did you enjoy that induction yesterday? And remember, the construction starts off with mostly things that are absolutely true and verifiable to some degree. It's true for them in their reality. And then just a few little suggestions that move them a little bit in one direction. Over time, you need fewer of these, and you can do more of these, and they'll be more dramatic. Eventually, you can be leading all the way, and they'll pretty much just follow along, right? And we have a lot of different ways of doing this, don't we? There's a lot of different things you can base on memories, on experiences, universal experiences, on hopes and dreams, on values and beliefs, on current physical experience, all kinds of stuff, right? What I'd like to do now is for you guys to experiment with something. Same exact construction, only now you're going to go from normal experience, which will be the X, right? Through to trance themes, which will be the Y. So it's really actually simpler than what you did yesterday, because you have less things to think about. So what kind of things constitute normal experience? Yeah, things you're seeing right now, doing right now, thinking right now. But you can also go beyond that, of course, into things that are normal everyday awareness, right? We get up in the morning, we do our chores, we get dressed, we shower, we have normal everyday realities, right? You talk to your friends, you go to work, you come back from work, you eat, right? What are kind of trance themes that might fit into a normal day, but are a little different? Driving back from work, and just being on autopilot. What else? Being deeply concentrated on something, right? Like reading a book or a report of some sort, right? What else? Watching a movie, exactly, all right? Do you get the idea that we're coming through here? So what I want you to do now is, again, this is not necessarily something you're doing too conversationally, although you can start weaving in it conversationally if you want. I guess I don't care too much if it's a little overt so that you can get used to the ideas, or if you want to be more covert and just give someone a little talk about some interesting things. It doesn't matter to me. The point is, I'd like you to just go speaking about normal experiences and then moving towards trance themes. And over time, you're speaking mostly about trance themes rather than anything else. Does that make sense to you guys? Of course, whenever you switch to the X or the Y side of the equation here, so the red side, you're also going to switch mentally into your kind of that's right experience. That's your H plus, shall we say. Make sense? So here, you can speak quite normally about normal things. Here, you'll speak more hypnotically, more meaningfully, more significantly about things that are more hypnotic in nature. And the easiest way to do that is if you physically change your own state, the way you feel, and remember how you felt yesterday, the day before, whilst doing that's right, and that feeling comes through, your voice changes, everything slows down a little bit, you might even have that inner smile come a little bit more strongly and so on. Does that kind of make sense? So we'll just treat this as a practice vehicle for switching backwards and forwards between being in a normal state and being in a kind of hypnotic state in terms of being the hypnotist state. Make sense? Any questions on that? It's easy, right? So just to make it a little bit more interesting, let's start the whole thing off with the hypnotic rapport. So the inner smile, you just started it, so you may as well use it, right? The inner smile, eyebrow flash, mirror whatever, thank you very much. Mirror whatever they do right after the eyebrow flash to maintain that, and then just launch into your monologue, essentially. They don't have to do much other than just sit there and listen and go, yeah, I think it's right, yeah, it's all right. Key thing here, of course, is watch their body language. If you say something that does not match their experience or their way of processing reality, you'll notice something. Maybe a stiffness, a pulling away, maybe all the nodding they were doing up to that point suddenly stops. Something will change. And using the contrast principle, you'll know, hang on a second, I've just dropped off the map slime here. If that happens, just cycle back to 2 or 3 things that are safe, absolutely true, and then you'll just pick it up right back up again, right? Does that make sense? Can I show you? Can I show you make a mistake or how people respond? All right. I'll show you what happens when someone's making mistakes. You're talking about stuff, you see it? Right? That's how it looks. Say again? All right, I'll try it again. So, say again? All right, it's going to be subtle.
Let's give an example. Yes,
Oh, okay. Can we have a volunteer, please? Volunteer, come on up. Oh, no, you've already been up. Come on, sit back down. We want someone else. Someone who hasn't been up yet. Come on up. There you go. Give him a nice round of applause. Have a seat in the magic chair. How are you doing, Ralph?
Good. How are you?
Good. Fantastic. So you enjoying yourself?
I am.
Now, we're going to go just with a very simple version. So, there's all kinds of things you do every day, right? You got up this morning, and you probably washed, got dressed, those sort of things, right? But there are times when you feel comfortable too, right? Like in bed when you're falling asleep at night. Of course, in the morning it's time to get up again, get on with your day-to-day stuff. I guess you start thinking about what might be happening in the seminar and perhaps even thinking about the future. Okay? Was he thinking about the future? No, he was not. Right? Do you see where I'm coming in from here? So we'll try this. We'll try this again, right? Were you not?
I don't remember.
Right? Well, your unconscious does. So just to show you again, we'll see if we can get the same reaction. So you got up this morning, you got dressed, you probably thought a little bit about the seminar and stuff you were doing, and maybe even thought about stuff you might do in the future or something like that, right? Okay. Now, do you notice how although he went yes to the general whole thing, he did little head nods on everything except thinking about the future. And thinking about the future, you went kind of very still. And then when I said the kind of right or wasn't there, something like that, overall, it was overall correct. So I went right. But I missed on the future thing because he probably wasn't thinking too much about the future. Does that make sense? So at that point, I just cycle right back. But most important of all, it's like a normal day, except that of course you're coming to a seminar and you're looking forward to learning some things. And I guess yesterday you had some very pleasant experiences. Some of them were probably relaxing as well, right? And not all pleasant experiences lead towards trance. That's right. Do you see where we're going with this? Right? So it doesn't matter too much how you frame it, if it's clunky or it's very conversational. It doesn't matter to me. What matters is that you're talking about normal everyday experiences, then you make a switch towards more hypnotic experiences, you switch back for a little bit, you switch forward again, back, forward, and eventually you'll just stick with the trance experiences and they'll have a fantastic ride through the whole thing. Does that make sense? If at some point you notice, as we had with Ralph, and notice it can be subtle, right? But if you notice a sudden switch, there's a pattern that develops and that pattern suddenly stops, chances are that you've missed a little bit in terms of what you're saying. Make sense? At which point, just cycle back to other things, just like recap. But that doesn't matter. The point is, and you just recycle whatever you just said beforehand, except the thing that didn't quite work out, right? And honestly, even if you went past that, if you went through it, you still have enough momentum going. Ralph wasn't particularly disappointed. I didn't hit like a really like a bad spot or anything like that, so I could probably ignore it and carry on anyway. But you may as well train your perceptions and work with them. Does that make sense? I'll come to you in a second. Does that make sense in general? Right? Go ahead.
Okay, so when you said to Ralph...
Do you just come up as well? It just sounds like it might be a little long one. You okay with staying up here a little bit longer? Thank you. Let's get this on for you. All right.
So when you said to Ralph, not all pleasant experiences lead to trance, that was like a deliberate sort of flub, right? And just to see if we can get a reaction from him that would deviate from the kinds of agreement-oriented reactions he was already giving. Is that right?
No, it was just a statement. It's just the reaction was interesting, And in fact, the reaction was particularly interesting because I'm guessing for Ralph, most pleasant experiences will lead to trance, in which case I'll go, of course, for some people, that's how I'd recover. For some people, all pleasant experiences lead to trance, don't they? And then it just intensifies because
So it's like a little fractionation.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. His face seemed to get surprised
Yeah.
at that
You
moment.
know what happened?
What's that?
When you said that, I actually started to think about it. I wondered about that.
Yeah.
Is there a trance reaction,
Yeah.
a little trance induction from every pleasant experience?
Watch
It's
this.
possible that there is.
Let's do it this way.
It's possible that there is.
Yeah. So, as I say, you'll never know ahead of time how people will react, right? Because everyone's different, everyone thinks differently. The point is, you're getting very sensitive to reactions now, right?
Right.
Right? And then you can always check. And if you're not sure, you know what you do? You go, it seems like something surprising just occurred to you. What was that? Right?
Well, you made me think of what you said, made me think about it. Because I didn't know the answer. I didn't know
Right.
whether I should say yes or no. I had to think about it.
Right. So you don't know whether all pleasant
I
experiences
guess I didn't
lead
know.
towards trance.
Right.
That's interesting.
It is.
I wonder if all pleasant experiences do lead towards trance.
I wouldn't be at all surprised.
You wouldn't be surprised by that, would you?
No, I wouldn't.
Pleasant experiences
It seems so.
leading to trance.
Yes. Seems
That's
natural.
an interesting idea, isn't it?
It is. That's right.
I wonder how many... Very good. Give him a round of applause. The danger of having a trained hypnotist on stage, right? So do you guys understand the drill a little bit better now? Is that clear to you guys? Right? You ready to do it? Off you go.